You're gonna have to edit out all your cuss words about our Buckeyes. Sounds like, anyways.
Oh, I know you're gonna yell at me.
That's all right. You watch more tape than I do. I just watch the games.
Oh yeah. Well, oh crap! I left my notes somewhere. Hold on. Let me go grab my notes because I watched a lot yesterday. All right, this
All right.
today. Yeah. So I saw you guys took a trip to France a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
first time. We did Barcelona, south of France, made our way east to Monte Carlo, and then ended in Rome. And then took a couple more days to Capri. So it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
How long you been over there?
Jeez, I've been here. This is my 14th year.
And are you right in Marseille?
Uh,
Excuse me if I pronounce it wrong.
oh no, it's perfect. I'm outside of Marseille.
All right.
I live just outside of Marseille.
Awesome.
But I say Marseille because it's a little town. So it's like living in northern Kentucky. It's just easier to say you're from Cincinnati.
Southern Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Northern
exactly.
Kentucky. So
Exactly.
how'd you find your way out?
My wife is French.
You met her in the
I met,
States?
yeah, I met her in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was working downtown at the law firm, and I was working with her aunt's girlfriend. And so yeah, she was like, "Well, my girlfriend's niece is in town. Could you like hang out with her on the weekend, one weekend?" I was like, "Does she speak English?" She said, kinda, sorta. I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't speak French." And then, well, it's actually, we met because of September 11th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she was in Cincinnati and she was supposed to fly out on September 11th to visit her friend in Canada, in Montreal. And all the planes got grounded. So then my friend who I worked with, she came back and asked me again. I was like, okay, yeah, she's stuck here now. She can't go home. So sure, we can hang out. And so we hung out for a couple of weeks, and yeah, we just kind of hit it off. And
That's all she wrote.
yeah, that's pretty much like a lot of flying back and forth at first. And yeah,
And then you made the jump. That
I mean,
somebody had to, though, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what I knew, one day somebody was going to have to. And she's really close with her family. So I was like, you know what? It'll just be easier. I thought it would be easier for us to make trips over there than it would be for us in Cincinnati to make trips over here.
So what'd you do right out of high school then? So I made my way to Otterbein here in Columbus.
Yeah.
Played soccer and never looked back. I've been in Columbus ever since.
Yeah.
Been in the very exciting banking financial services industry. So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's been great. I met my wife at Huntington, and yeah, we've been here ever since. No kids. On our second pair of dogs, but it works.
Yeah.
It works.
I keep track of you. Like, I like all your stuff. I like a lot of your stuff anyway on Facebook.
Yeah. That's the good. People get on social media for all the negative you can allow it to be, but that's the way I look at it. It's like free entertainment. If you don't agree, just scroll on. I mean, you find out a lot about people, especially these days.
Oh, you do. Yeah. No, but yeah, yeah, it's nice here. It's really nice. And yeah, Monaco is one of my favorite places in the world.
Oh man, I can see why. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. I still prefer Paris. I miss living in Paris. But my wife wanted to live here in the South, so can't complain too much.
We're starting to plan another trip over there. And once we've gone to Capri, Shelly, my wife, wants to go there every time. So we're going to do a couple of those islands down there, like Sicily, Malta, and Capri again. So
it's beautiful.
We always seem to find ourselves around the water instead of going to see, like Tuscany. I'd like to see wine country, and like even up further north. If like we've been nowhere else in Europe. That trip I told you we just took 2 years ago. That was it. So I'm
Well,
sure there's so much more to see besides just the coasts.
well, the coast is nice. I mean,
It is.
you're already doing pretty well just by visiting the
Yeah.
coast. And like you got Marseille, and that's right on the sea. You got Nice right there as well, Monaco. So you still have like the big cities.
Yeah, we drove over to Nice from Monte Carlo. We through Ez to Nice, and Ez, of course, is where my wife also wants to go back and stay. I'm like, there's like 20 people that live here. How is there even a hotel?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably do that at some point too.
Yeah, it's really beautiful here. I'm still more of a city person, so like, well, Marseille is huge, but I love Paris. It's just something that from the first day I moved there, I just said, this is it. I'm never gonna leave.
Yeah.
And then my wife had other plans, but
Well, you're not too far, right?
no, it's a quick 3-hour train ride.
All right.
So yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, good to catch up, my man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
First, let me see if you've switched since from Team Trade back to Team Chase or Team Sewell.
I think I'm just so, I know that's who we're gonna take. So basically I'm pretty much Team Chase because it's already like, we're gonna take Chase, we're gonna take Chase. But so I've kind of talked myself into it. I would still love the trade back because I love that there's a group of players in the third round who I just absolutely love. So Ben Cleveland, Adebu, the DB out of Stanford. But I know we're not going to draft a DB that early, at least. But I love him. And Kenneth Gainwell, the running back out of Memphis. So those are three.
Do you like any other guards besides Cleveland?
Vera Tucker.
All right.
Vera Tucker's my 1 and Cleveland's my 2. And that's pretty much it.
Unless we trade back in the first round, we're not getting Vera Tucker either.
Oh, no, we're not getting Vera Tucker.
No.
And my tackle 1 is Darrisaw, actually.
I don't mind that one, but I don't think we can go wrong with Sewell either. I don't know if Darrisaw, does he have that nasty streak that you want? He seems...
He's a technician.
Yeah, okay.
But he doesn't... I didn't see too much of a nasty streak when I watched him. But he's more of a technician. That's right. Sewell doesn't have that much of a... I saw it a few times.
Yeah.
It came out a few times, but it's not like he's just out there trying to destroy people. He has destroyed people.
I'm just worried if we don't go Sewell first, we're not going tackle until next year.
I think we need to go tackle. I don't think the Bengals think they need to go tackle because with Jonah Williams and with Riley Reef, I think they're pretty much set on that. I wish they weren't.
Yeah, because that's just a 1-year thing. I don't know. At least for Reef, who knows what's going to happen after next year.
Yeah, so I think it's probably a 1-year deal. And then we're going to be looking for tackle next year. And my thinking is and that's why I keep coming back to Rashawn Slater. Because I think they would like Rashawn Slater. I think if Trey Hopkins is going to be out, he could play center. I think he might be an upgrade at right guard. And then next year, it's probably easier to find a right guard than it would be to find a right tackle. So they could just easily kick him out to right tackle, something like that. But I don't know.
Especially if we could pick up another 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, I would love that.
Same. I'm in that boat, but since we're Chase, probably 90% sure we're Chase at this point, then who do you go second round?
Well, before we get to the 2nd round, what if Atlanta takes Chase or somebody, I forget who it was trying to get to 4? I know Detroit. Oh no, was it Detroit? I think it was Detroit. There was a rumor that came out yesterday.
Detroit's at 7.
Yeah, there was a rumor that they were trying to move up for a while to 4 to jump in front of the Bengals to get Chase. And then Atlanta finally said no. So if something happens like that, we might have to come off of Chase.
Then we'll be Team Sewell again.
Oh yeah, well, definitely. Definitely. But
Then who do you go second round if it is Chase?
if it's Chase, I would go.
It's too early for your boy Cleveland.
Yeah, but the third round might be too late.
It's true.
So that's the dilemma there. I don't mind, personally, I don't mind reaching for players I love, for players I really believe in. So I honestly wouldn't mind Ben Cleveland in the second round. However, I know that's not going to be good. I would think offensive line, and I would think if you told me Leatherwood was going to be a right guard, I would be all for that. If you're telling me Leatherwood is going to be a tackle, I don't want any parts of that. So it would depend on that. And if it's not Leatherwood, choices are limited after that because they're all tackles. Cosme, maybe Walker Little, depending on how his injuries and whatnot.
That's what I wondered. I didn't get your thoughts on that. I was going to ask you about that in one of your earlier either commentary or one of these Zoom calls you did. He hasn't played for 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
Would he have been higher rated had he played last year or not?
Probably. Well, actually, I looked at some mock drafts because I worked on an article a few days ago on Walker Little, and they had him a way too early mock draft in 2019. They had him as a top 10 pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how much he would have fell off last year if he had played, if he would have fell off.
He's had 2 years to heal.
Right, exactly.
At this point.
That's
not a lot of mileage.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's a double-edged sword. I would look at that as he's fresh.
Right.
That used to be a positive.
Is Diami Brown the receiver if we do go Sewell?
Well, he's my guy.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
I like him. Maybe Jefferson if, he's got a little injury history evidently too. But
Jefferson?
Yeah, Jefferson. Or does he? Is
Hold
that the guy from LSU?
Terrence Marshall.
Jefferson was the guy that got taken last year.
Exactly.
So that's what I meant. Marshall. I'm getting them all the LSU receivers mixed up right now.
I have been messing up names for like.
Oh, you look at so many, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and plus I'm just getting old, so that doesn't help. So yeah.
So what time does the draft start?
It starts there at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
So after this, you're gonna get a nap in.
Oh yeah, definitely. After this, I'll see how much editing I'm going to do with this. If it's not a lot, I might try to get it out before the draft, but more than likely, I might have to put it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you before the draft, before the weekend when there's already eight Buckeyes gone in round 3, and then we it would have lost some of its luster. All right, so I'll switch us to the Buckeye topic if you're ready.
Who do you have in the second round?
So for us, if we go Chase, I'm kind of in that same boat as you. I don't know where to go. I want to get a tackle. Want to get the best lineman. I want to go lineman. So I guess however you mix those guys, I don't really have as much knowledge as you do on all the linemen, especially the guards after Wyatt Davis. I don't know which guard I would go with. That's kind of a joke, but kind of not. A lot of people think the same way.
I know.
I think he's got the pedigree, and we'll get into this. He's unanimous All-American, 2-time All-American. But anyways, I just want to make sure we go lineman if we go Chase first, and then if we go Sewell. I don't know. I mean, if there's one of those edge guys there, because I still think we can get a guard in the 4th round. Like if Perkins or somebody, I really like him. If we went lineman, so if we went Sewell receiver, I'm okay doing an edge or maybe even before receiver, and then getting, my next picks were receiver or a guard in the 4th round. Because I think I think we can get some decent talent in the fourth round at either position. But I'm worried that the receivers might drop off a little bit, even though I think the receiver position is the deepest one in this draft.
I totally agree with you. But when you watch TV, nobody agrees with that. I
don't know why.
I think the receiver position is deeper than the offensive line position, but I thought I was the only one. So
well, maybe they say that because linemen are at a premium. Everybody knows that's the important position on the field,
right?
At least after quarterback. So maybe that's why they say it's deep. I don't know. I think we can. I would want to get a receiver in the top 3 picks if we're not going chase first. 2 linemen and a receiver in our first 3 picks, unless we got a good. If I keep saying Perkins, I really like him. If he's there, maybe in the 3rd. I don't know how far he's going to drop.
Oh, I don't.
He's probably 2nd rounder.
Yeah, people like him. Yeah.
So if we went offensive line first, I wouldn't mind taking him in the 2nd round and then doing another either receiver in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I like maybe one of those guys who might fall out of the 1st round, like Rousseau. I think PFF has him at in the 2nd round already. Mm-hmm. But like mid-season last year, he was a 1st round pick. So, I mean, I do like Rousseau. If he was there, I would think. And another guy I like is Tryon out of Washington, but he's like a linebacker, defensive end guy, like a hybrid. But nobody talks about him. Nobody. And he had one good year. So maybe that's why Bengals fans don't talk about him, because they tend to like the production over time. So
the team captains.
And the team captains. Yeah. I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff. I just look, are you good? Can you play? Can you block the guy in front of you?
You like Rousseau better than Phillips?
I just think Phillips is going to be gone. Well, yes, I do like Phillips better than Rousseau. And I think Phillips will be gone because there's 2 surefire 1st rounders. There's Phillips and there's who's the other guy? I'm drawing a blank.
At linebacker?
No, at defensive end.
At edge, Parsons is gone early.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's the linebacker from Penn State. Who's the defensive?
Oh, but I think of him more on the end because that's where he's going to be coming from. The guy from Georgia?
No,
or Michigan, the guy from Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Quiddy Payne?
Yeah, Quiddy Payne, yeah.
I don't want to talk about the team up north.
Yeah, I know. Well, screw them. Muck Fishigan. Yeah, Quiddy Payne. And I watched him really fast. I knew we weren't going to draft him, so I just looked at him real fast. I wasn't overly impressed. So yeah, this is the Draft Network has Phillips 1 or Phillips 2, Azeez Ojulari 3, and Rousseau 4, and Tryon 5. So they're a little bit different than PFF. Yeah. Right. So if we were to go defensive line, I would like that.
I would too. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, if you're ready, I'm ready.
You're ready to go, Buckeyes. How about we start at the top, because I've been baffled by this whole conversation. I thought it was always Lawrence and then Fields, and then all of a sudden, there's this guy from BYU that comes out of nowhere, and no one's giving the Jets any grief. Like, if you should give any franchise some grief, it should be the Jets.
Absolutely.
And no one's talking about it, but all you hear is, that Justin Fields is sliding, and I don't understand it.
Right. I don't either. And so in preparation for this conversation, I went back and I watched 3 games: Indiana, Penn State, and in Nebraska. And the whole time I'm just looking at Justin Fields, and I even sent something on Facebook. He's amazing.
He really is.
he's amazing. And I was like, I don't get it. I came away from that thinking, how is he not the second pick in the draft? You're absolutely right.
Whatever the love affair is with Wilson, that's fine. He should definitely be the third pick. And maybe that's just all the smoke screens that people are putting out there pre-draft.
I think that's set.
You don't think it's Fields at 3?
Oh, Fields? No, I think, this morning they were talking about Trey Lance, and it seemed to be a done deal, pretty much.
So then where does Fields fall to, which is nuts to me?
Yeah. Maybe Atlanta.
They just restructured.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
But still.
He's not Dolphins. I mean.
Maybe, well, you never know. Carolina. I think Fields could. I think he could go to Atlanta. I think he could go to the Dolphins. In theory, I think the Dolphins are going to stick with Tua for a little bit, but they're not.
I think they have enough around him now to justify keeping him at that position.
All right. Detroit, maybe. I mean, I don't know. He might fall.
Won't be Carolina. It probably won't be Carolina now. They got Darnold, but then the Broncos signed Teddy, but say that doesn't change their thoughts on the draft. So I don't know.
All right. Well, hold on. Darnold, did they give him his oh no, he's got a new contract. Never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else. Who was it that just got traded, but they didn't get their 5th-year option picked up? I forget who it was. I thought it was Darnold.
I don't know. I saw that on the bottom line.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was.
So whatever team that is. Yeah. So yeah. And then you have Matt.
Somebody will trade up. There's going to be a trade in the top 10.
Right.
Hopefully it's the Bengals going back a few slots.
I don't see it.
Because that's what we do or don't do.
Yeah, that's what we don't do. At least not in the first round. Well, no, we have traded down in the first round. That's how we got Kevin Zeitler, actually, right? We traded down.
Novel concept, and we got a really good player.
Right. And some extra picks.
All right, so that's the round 1 Buckeye right there.
Yeah, and
we just don't know where yet.
Yeah, and it should be higher. Now
I'll let you go. Although there is a guy that people say he's creeping up, and I really would like to get your thoughts on Pete Werner. Like, he had a really good pro day. He's one of those guys that can cover. They put him in that position at Ohio State, could cover any tight end. So they say he's creeping, at least depending on what you read, he might be borderline first rounder now.
I watched him. I wasn't overly impressed. And this year I was looking for something specific that he didn't bring, because we have Logan Wilson and we have Akeem Davis-Gaither, but maybe I'm hoping Davis-Gaither can become this linebacker I'm looking for, which is more of a thumper, a Vontaze Burfict type enforcer in the middle that I don't think we have on the roster right now. So, and I don't think Werner is that.
No, I don't either. I just think he's pretty versatile, and he's good for a certain scheme and a certain team. I just was curious what you thought about him and where you think, because I really think there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 6 or 7 more Buckeyes taken in the next 2 rounds. So the second and third.
That's a lot.
And I can go through them for you.
Oh, please
I'm sure you've
do.
looked at them. What's that?
Please do.
So I'm just, the second pick the second Buckeye taken will probably be your favorite guy at guard, but give me your thoughts. Go ahead on, and not necessarily for the Bengals, even though I would take him in the second and I would take Josh Myers in the third. If I wouldn't be sad, but I think Myers you probably could get in the fourth, but he could play center, or, he's a versatile guy, so that helps his stock. I think Josh Myers, the one you couldn't remember the other day.
Yeah, Josh Myers. I kept calling him Cooper.
He made such an impact.
Yeah, I kept calling him Cooper for some reason, but that's the defensive end who's one of your guys who's gonna go.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a week, the first weekend. Well, we say first weekend still. I guess I'm dating myself, but he's not I don't think he's a top 3 round. I don't think he's a second day guy. Cooper, that is.
All right. Well, Josh Myers, I'm looking on PFF right now. They have him at 154, so that will put him in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt Davis. Yeah, I think Justin Fields is so good because that offensive line was so bad. And
he didn't have to run a whole lot.
He did.
He protected.
He did
when
have
they
to
weren't
run.
When they weren't RPOs. Like
Right.
they called for him to run a fair amount.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me because he's not in this draft, I don't think. Number 76, the left guard. So he's going back to Ohio State. I don't even know his name.
Harry Miller, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. He jumped out at me as well. He's not good either. So there's well, not good. I wrote inconsistent. I wrote 2 inconsistent. The whole offensive line. And at one point, I just thought it was bad coaching. So I'm going to talk about everybody, Wyatt Davis, Myers. At one point, I was like, I think the coaching is bad because they just look lost sometimes. And they didn't look like they knew what they were doing or where they were going or who they were supposed to block. They got Justin Fields just absolutely destroyed a few times. There was even Nebraska, because I turned on Nebraska because I was like, all right, I want to see them dominate because I want to have another image of them. So let me turn on the Nebraska game. And they didn't dominate against Nebraska. And I was like, they look confused. They look lost. Wyatt Davis and I don't know, the center and guards, they weren't on the same page. So I don't know if that's a Myers fault. I don't know if that's a Wyatt Davis fault. I don't know if that's a coaching fault. But it looked unorganized at times. Obviously, Wyatt Davis in the run game, he can push people back. When he gets a hold of you, you're going backwards. So that was good to see. But I'm looking for this whole draft process. I'm looking for pass blockers. Now I know I'm looking for people who can do both, obviously, because we need to get Joe Mixon going. But I'm just thinking about Joe Burrow. I was tunnel vision. Are you a good pass blocker? And just the blitzes and the confusion and just the guys, right? One play, Wyatt Davis, it wasn't like it was like a loop or stunt or anything. One of the defensive tackles just went out wide a little bit. And Wyatt Davis just said, okay, I'll let you go. The right tackle's engaged. And the defensive tackle just comes up and blasts Justin Fields.
I would agree with that. There was a lot of confusion on that line this year. I don't think in every game because of COVID, the Big Ten started late. They didn't have a lot of early practices. There were so many games that people don't even know that they were missing really key players. Even the games that Fields didn't look the best, like Northwestern game. Right. They didn't have a couple of their top receivers. They just weren't on the same page. I think that had a lot to do with it. At least in my opinion. That 76 you talked about, Harry Miller, he moved to center. I think it was against Michigan State, and he couldn't. Fields was chasing every snap from the shotgun. He couldn't make the snap. So he moved from guard to center because Myers was out, who was normally playing center. So I wish you could watch the previous year's tape on Wyatt Davis.
I looked at so many, I always look at so many players, and usually once I have an idea that I don't want you, I stick with it. It's right. If I see a guy I like, I'll go more in depth on it. And then I'll start going even deeper. How many pressures did you give up? How many sacks? What are your measurables? But if I just look at a game tape and I just say, oh no, oh no, I'll stop there and I'll say, I don't want any part of you. Now that's my fault. And yeah, I didn't take COVID into consideration because they played. So it was the last thing, it was the first and last thing I really concentrated on. Like I didn't even look at Justin Fields really. It was just, I wanted to see this offensive line and I wanted to make sure that I was seeing what I saw. And I was like, maybe I should have gone back to the previous year. Maybe it would have been better.
I mean, you said something right as far as run blocking, because just keep in mind, Trey Sermon broke one of my favorite all-time Buckeyes, Eddie George's single game rushing record behind that offensive line. So, I mean, he had almost 200 yards against Clemson. And the game before that, he had 300 and something against Northwestern. So they're against decent teams too. So I just keep that in mind. Establish the run.
That's the one thing I will give this offensive line class. Run blockers, they're pretty good. What concerned me about Wyatt Davis was there were some reps he would come off the line run blocking, and he still didn't know exactly where to go. So he wouldn't block anybody. So there were some things like that kind of concerned me. But yeah, when he knew who he was going to block and he got his hands on him, that defender was going backwards. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Josh Myers, the defenders were going back. Ohio State did a lot of these like stretch runs, and once in a while, Wyatt Davis had trouble getting there. Most of the time he got there, but a few times I saw him, he wasn't quick enough to beat the defensive line, or maybe they were stunting as well, so it made it for a more difficult block for him. So you're not sold on him. You don't want him to be in the stripes in round 2 if we go Chase first. Definitely not round 2. He'll be gone in the second round, though. In the third round, you think?
Davis will be gone in the second round.
He will be gone in the second round, if you believe PFF. Absolutely.
I mean, I think I gave you some of those numbers on one of your Facebook posts after you were bashing. I don't remember exactly what you said, but
it was after I watched the Indiana game the first time.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he didn't give up too many pressures or sacks, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a solid pro. He can stay healthy. His dad was in the program.
No.
Remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember the movie.
The mean linebacker guy. I think he was the linebacker, right?
Yeah, the one, the roided up dude.
That's his dad.
No way.
Fun fact about Wyatt Davis.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look it up.
Hold on, the roided out dude.
Aren't they all in that movie?
But the big dude, because I'm not. Hold on. There seems to be. Then I've got all the questions. Like, how is that your dad? And no, that's him. No. Really?
Yeah. So Davis is the son of actor Dwayne Davis. I just looked it up. Grandson of Hall of Famer Willie Davis.
Okay. So
if you're looking for any pedigree, I don't remember the guy's Alvin Mack.
Okay, yeah, that was because the only guy I can't think of. Wow. Okay, yeah.
That's just a fun fact for you. If that makes you feel any better.
It does not.
I didn't think so. Nor should it.
Here's a fun fact. I've never seen that. I need to go on YouTube. I've never seen the scene where they were laying down in the street. Like they had already taken it out of theaters before I actually got to watch the movie.
I mean, that movie's a long time ago.
Yeah, and I never seen the scene where they had to take it out, where they were laying in the street. Kids don't do that. And they were I've never seen that scene.
Yeah. I don't remember a whole lot about that movie right now, but I remember bits and pieces. And as he signed with the Buckeyes a few years back that everybody
Wow.
was talking about it.
The program. Wow. One of my brings back
So
college memories.
let's move to your linebacker class, and Baron Browning.
I like him. I think he's a good tackler. He moves well, but again, he's not that thumper enforcer type. Because like when I loved Logan Wilson last year. I love that pick. I wanted them to pick Logan Wilson because he could do all those coverage things. And I'm really satisfied with him, and I want him to like keep that role, keep that position. So,
I don't think we're going linebacker in this draft, but
right.
Since I'm going through my list of Buckeyes that I think are going to be gone on day 2.
I do like him. I don't like him for the Bengals, but I do think whoever drafts him is going to get a good player.
I think it took him a couple years to get it, and sometimes he was out of position a lot. He was just overrunning plays, not staying in his lanes. But I think he can come off the edge, and he's super strong. He's a physical freak, so I just think he's going to be a really good pro.
Do you think he can turn into like an enforcer type, like a hard hitting, just downhill type?
I do.
Okay, because I didn't see that too much. Well, I didn't see that too much from a lot of linebackers in this class, actually.
Yeah, and I wasn't thrilled. They changed defensive coordinators last year, and they played 4 linebackers, and who does that anymore? As Tough Borland, their slowest linebacker in the national championship game, I can still see him chasing Devontae Smith. He shouldn't even have been near him. So, yeah.
And he'll get drafted as well, right? He might get drafted, or undrafted rookie free agent.
Probably.
Yeah.
Smart, 3-time captain, only the 2nd time ever as a Buckeye. That happening, but I just don't think he has the measurables.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember Browning, and I did like him, but like you said, I don't think we're gonna go linebacker that early.
Yeah, I think he might be the best pro out of the group we've talked about going second day or after. How about if we went D tackle and Tommy Togai?
I liked him. I think there were some other guys I liked around that time. And I'm going to draw a blank on all the defensive tackles, except for
I know you guys
Twyman.
talked about Milton Williams last week.
Ad nauseum.
A couple of days ago, whenever that was.
I don't like him more than I like the defensive tackle out of USC.
Tupolotu or something like that.
I forget his name, but
or that there was two tackles like that are in probably from USC.
Yeah. Oh, they have a linebacker.
Tufele. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it right.
Interior defenders. Balmore. I like. Aline Mitchell. Milton Williams.
But we're not going that early.
Togai, and he's a bit ahead of who I was thinking of. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Marlon Tuipulotu.
Say that 3 times fast.
Exactly. I will not.
I was thinking Togai might break the combine record in the bench press. He's one of those strong as an ox guys in the middle that everybody can use.
Yeah. For some reason, in my head, I had the guy out of USC a little bit higher, or in the same area as him. Wow, PFF has Stone Forsythe just ahead of Togai. Stone Forsythe. Oh, well.
I don't know that we're going to go D-line that early. We could. Like I said, if we went edge, I would rather go edge than D tackle, but we can use both.
Yeah. I would love to get a D tackle who can get pressure up the middle. And that's why I always talk about Twyman from Pitt, one of those guys that can bring the pressure up the middle. So
After we get 2 linemen and a receiver, then it's fair game for me for the D line,
I'm not sure we're gonna get 2 offensive linemen that early.
unless we go Team Chase first. I mean Team Sewell first.
Then we might, yeah. I could see us doing something like only Leatherwood, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming back, going defensive end or something in the 3rd round.
So we're just assuming it's Chase. We'll just talk as if it's Chase.
I have been for like the past 48 hours. Just for me, everything everybody keeps saying is Chase.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, I'm just like, it's gotten to the point now, I'd almost be disappointed if it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going through the last couple of Buckeyes that I have going in day 2.
okay.
And neither, I think, are fits for what we're looking for in Cincinnati. But one guy, if he wouldn't have come back to school and played last year, was going to be a 1st-round pick in Shaun Wade. He played slot in previous years, looked awesome. He moved outside last year, was playing a little injured, but he played himself out of some money by coming back. He's probably a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, I
think.
I thought I don't want to say I was disappointed when I watched him play. I thought I was going to see a 1st round, 2nd round DB, and I did not. So he's one of those guys I watched and I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be something else. It wasn't. And then I just stopped watching. So again, one of those guys, I watched a highlight. So I didn't even watch a game. I watched highlights and I said, oh.
People
maybe.
wondered if he was playing just kind of not to get hurt last year. After hearing he was, edge of the 1st round the previous year, came back to play, wanted to prove that he could play on the outside, but I think he's going to be a really good slot corner in the pros, but that doesn't get you drafted in the 1st round.
Right.
Where do they even have him rated now?
PFF has him at 132.
All right.
So 4th round. And let's see, DBs on the Draft Network, they have him at 163.
Wow. Interesting.
So yeah, behind some guys who
maybe a value pick. He had a good pro day. Saying all the right things, that he was hurt last year, but we'll see.
Yeah. He is one of those guys where I knew he was good at Ohio State, so I was really happy to watch him. But what I thought and what I saw just didn't come together. So
yeah, it's amazing. Like the year before, when you had Okuda on the outside, and I don't remember who the other outside corner was, and he was playing the slot. Looked like he was a star in the making.
Was he playing outside last year?
Yeah.
So maybe that was it.
It has to be. I don't know. And then the only other Buckeye I see going day 2 also is Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon. I like him. I don't think we will take him, but I do like him.
As long as the Steelers don't take him.
Yeah, hey, they might.
And I think they're going to go running back early,
Yeah.
at least from what you read. And I almost hope they do, because I don't want them to have Sermon, because he runs hard.
Yeah.
He's not going to run away from you, but it's going to be hard to bring him down.
He could go in the 3rd round. So
there's all the Buckeyes I got going in day 2. Then I think there'll be 2 others that get drafted, in Cooper and our guy from the St. X High School, Justin Hilliard, who just could not stay healthy. Right. Couldn't stay healthy his whole career at Ohio State. 5th year, has some really key moments. Had an awesome Senior Bowl. if he can stay healthy, I think he's a good late round pick for anybody at linebacker.
Well, looks like PFF is higher on him than you.
They might be.
Yeah, 113. And Jonathan Cooper. I've seen Jonathan Cooper going fairly high on day 2. I've seen him third round ish.
All right, so the over under for Buckeyes through the first 3 is probably around 7 or 8.
1, 2, 3. What's day 2? Okay, one. What number? What number is that?
Davis, Werner, Browning, Togiai, Myers, Wade, Sermon.
Well,
maybe Cooper, maybe Hilliard.
Yeah, I think you might want to go over because if I'm looking just off of PFF's rankings, but I think PFF is higher on the Buckeyes than you are even.
All right, I'll keep it at. I'm gonna stay at 8 as my over under.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's an awful lot.
But it's low for the first round this year for these guys. The talent that they've been putting out, especially on defense, the last few years. What is it? Last 4 out of the last 5 defensive rookie of the years from Ohio State.
Really?
The Bosa brothers.
Oh yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore, Chase Young.
Yeah.
Forget who was mixed in there.
It wasn't Okudah, was it? No.
No. Chase Young last year. Okudah was a rookie last year too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a down year for first round Buckeyes.
Hey, Justin Fields.
Hey.
If he drops, he might find himself in a good situation.
Yeah.
He might play, and you might have you an offensive rookie of the year.
You almost kind of root for him. If they start dropping, you root for them to be in a better situation anyways, even though it affects their pocketbook.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But in the long run, if he can stay healthy and show his worth, yeah, definitely. I hope, I've started feeling bad about trashing some of these guys the way I do. And I think I just get mad at Bengals Twitter for loving some of these guys. So Wyatt Davis, for example, I wish him all the luck in the world. I hope he goes to the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't mind if he does it in another team's uniform.
That's fine. At least I know you're not one of the Cincinnati fans that, for some reason, I mean, it's been this way since we were growing up there. They just don't like Ohio State. They'd rather root for Notre Dame, and I got love for the Bearcats, and the Buckeyes. So, I've been in Columbus longer now than I was in Cincinnati. So
I've always been around people who've kind of rooted more for Ohio State football and UC basketball or Xavier basketball more than UC football. It's come around recently. When I was younger, it was all about Ohio State football, UC basketball, Xavier basketball.
Yeah.
So, because UC we weren't going to win any championships.
No.
When I was younger, when we were younger, but it's been nice to see the change recently. Mm-hmm. But I don't see the hate. I don't see the Ohio State hate.
All right, maybe it's just
I don't from me. Now I know people travel in different groups and they see their own things and what they want to see these days. But
I know you have some Buckeyes gear.
Yeah.
I've seen you with it on.
I'll wear my scarlet and gray.
That's right.
Once in a while, especially here. Mm-hmm. I just love everything. Ohio State, FC Cincinnati, Bengals, of course. Just proud of my state. Yeah, nothing Cleveland though.
No, I can't even root for the Indians, and they have nothing to do with the Reds. Yeah, it's just how we grew up. Bengals and Browns were the best in the division at the time when we were our formidable years fandom. And I can't root for anything Cleveland, even when LeBron went there.
Oh yeah, I
couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't either.
Although I am Columbus Crew. I'm Columbus Crew still over FC
course.
Cincinnati.
Well, that's normal.
They've been around longer.
Obviously. So they have a more of a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
We're the new kids on the block.
Right, but it's fun. Hopefully they can start a rivalry.
Yeah. And I need to get back so I can see the stadium. I haven't seen the stadium. That would be nice. Take my son to a soccer game.
Yeah, and I can walk. The new Crew Stadium is going to be ready July 3rd. So they'll have a brand new stadium. I can walk there from my house.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get back into the MLS. I haven't been a super fan. It's just because it's traditional sports for me, even though I played soccer.
Yeah, I was
football,
about to
baseball, basketball.
But you were a soccer star.
I know.
So I would think that would be right up your alley.
World Cup, I'm all in but MLS kind of just was a different tier. But I was there the first 8 or 9 years, but then I fell off as a fan. I don't know what happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it back.
Less time, more responsibilities.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Mm-hmm. I heard you guys talking yesterday about you crying as a grown man, and I was right there with you. I wouldn't go out to watch the playoff game. The one that kind of showed me that sports is not that important anymore, when the Jeremy Hill fumble.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out to watch it. I was on the couch in the living room. My wife was in the back. We weren't even in the same room. I stood up when Burfict got the interception.
Yeah.
Finally, we're going to win a playoff game, and it's against the Steelers. And then we all know what happened next.
Yeah. That was crazy. Fortunately for me, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, or maybe not that late. It was like 4 in the morning, something like that. So everybody here was asleep. My wife didn't get to see me cry.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah,
good.
no, I was in tears. Like I couldn't to go from being so happy to just, I can't, this disaster, like this can't be real. It was, yeah.
So I've lowered, it's about expectations, I think.
Yeah. Happiness is about
realistic expectations. Yeah. It's easy to say when they're really good, like, and you think they really have a chance. It's easy to say that now because we're not in that position right now.
Right.
But it's hard to give so much right now.
Yeah.
And we gotta get it back.
Yeah. That's and that might be like my thing with positive, like I'm seen as a negative Bengals fan. And I think at that moment right there, I think something inside of me broke. Like all the losing in the 90s didn't do it to me, or the playoff games against the Houston Texans didn't do it to me.
No.
It was that right there. And ever since then, I've just been like, like, what's going to happen this time? What's going to happen now? Yeah. What bad coach are we going to hire? And so, yeah,
it went from Carson Palmer's injury in that playoff game to that one. And then I was like, that's enough emotional investment for me. But it's still there. It's still burning inside. I don't let it affect my my evening or morning, the next day, whatever it is anymore.
I do.
Yeah.
I love the Bengals so much. And that's I had this conversation with my wife actually, because she wanted to know what we were talking about. And I said, I get mad at Bengals Twitter because everything is positive for them. And if you say the truth, then you're being negative. And I told my wife, these people on Twitter, they don't even live in Cincinnati. They're not from Cincinnati. Like my friend Cyril, he's from France. He lives in France. He's never been to Cincinnati. He's a Bengals fan. I'm a Cincinnati fan. So if one day the Bengals leave Cincinnati, I'm going to be
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
yes, but that's what I'm afraid of. At the end of Joe Burrow's contract, 2026, lease is up. If it goes to the voters, Cincinnati is going to pay the flip the bill. What's going to happen? I read an article yesterday, San Diego Bengals. So that we have to get good. We have to get good fast.
And stay there.
And stay there.
People want to give Marvin Lewis a bad rap, but we were competitive for a pretty consistent amount of time. Although we just couldn't get that one playoff victory. I think they're being positive now because people see what kind of potential Joe Burrow has. Like,
I don't know.
That's got everybody excited.
I don't know why. I don't know why they're excited. Like, that's Joe Burrow, new uniforms, Jamar Chase. I'm going to ask a question. What else is there to be excited about?
Right. Hey, they revamped the whole D. But I know what you're going to say next. Zach Taylor's still our coach.
Well, no, I was going to talk about the defense.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I hope Zach Taylor turns out to be a great coach. I hope I eat these words. I hope everybody makes fun of me and they're laughing at me and I'm just wrong in the most public way imaginable.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Me 3.
I'll have to follow you on Twitter so that you have 7 followers.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've gotten like 2 more followers since in the past couple of days. I'm not sure why, but yeah, maybe that's somebody's funny. Watching these and I don't realize it, or yeah.
Well, don't forget that domination against Clemson that the Buckeyes put on them. Even last year when they lost to them, they manhandled them physically.
I'm gonna go back. Like I said, I've been this whole offensive line class, as far as run blocking is concerned, I've come away pretty impressed. So even Wyatt Davis, I've been fairly impressed with that. But I'm just looking for pass protection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for.
Yeah. But we know the Bengals are a whole lot better when Mixon gets the ball a lot more than we can't be throwing the ball 60 times a game.
True. But Zach Taylor can.
Yeah, I know.
Zach Taylor can. And we can put ourselves in awful positions on 3rd down and then run screens on a 3rd and 12.
Mm-hmm.
Just because. Yeah, if Joe Mixon is our best player, then we should build a line around Joe Mixon because he still might be our best player.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how early they'll go running back just to kind of shore that up, or if they're just going to get a compliment.
Probably
to replace Bernard.
Yeah, probably. I'm thinking a compliment because if you draft someone like who?
Your Gainwell guy.
I love him. But I'm drawing a blank again. The Memphis running back last year, Antonio Gibson. Yeah, I loved him last year. And we passed on him. And now there's Kenneth Gainwell, who's basically the
2.0.
same. Yeah, the same. And he's going to be in the 3rd round. That's why I was team Trey back. Because my favorite players are going to be right there in that 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why they're going to be there, but I love the gems.
Yeah, you can't justify going running back there, though, if we haven't gone linemen.
It depends.
receiver.
It depends on the lineman.
I guess you could do just guard this year. If you're
Well-
going to go tackle next year.
That's basically what they're going to do anyway. If you have Riley Reef at right tackle and Jonah Williams at left, and you're set in your ways like they seem to be. Penei Sewell, they said Penei Sewell doesn't want to play guard, but the Bengals might start him off at right guard, something like that.
Then he'll probably be mad at the organization. Cancer.
Exactly. Yeah, bad attitude, not a team player.
Can the guy who drafted from Kansas move into at least the right tackle position long term?
I see him as a guy I loved, and I see him as a pure left tackle. Pure left tackle. He has stretches where he played really well, and he has stretches where he looked like a 6th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he wasn't good at guard. He's just not a guard. I wish we could move Jonah to right tackle, but they don't want to seem to do that. Riley Reef played left tackle last year in Minnesota. We have a lot of left tackles on this team. What do you think of I was surprised when I watched the games last week, Xavier Suafiva. I thought he might have been our best offensive lineman down the stretch at left guard.
Isn't he penciled in this year?
I don't know. He's not paid like he's
starting
penciled
line
in.
right now.
Today, before
If we go team chase.
team chase, right now, my starting just on this roster, I would have to say Jonah Williams, Riley Reef, Xavier Suafiva, left guard. Right guard, Drew Sample. Right guard. I don't think Fred Johnson is a tackle. He wasn't good at guard last year, so he's a tackle. I want Ohio State. I don't want any parts of Billy Price.
No. I don't mind him as a stopgap. Solid backup, but he's a backup. It's a wasted 1st round pick. But who would have guessed it? I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it. I mean, he was solid. Remington Award winner. Just doesn't always translate, I guess.
But the Bengals didn't want him. They wanted Frank Ragnow. One spot before.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, with the
So,
Bengals.
A couple of the guys you're going to be targeting will get taken 1 or 2 picks before the Bengals pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ben Cleveland.
You're prepared for that, right?
I always am. I like what Duke Tobin said about a universe of players. He has a cluster of players that they will be happy with any of those guys. So yeah, you always have to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. I got to get going here.
Okay.
Great catching up with you, my man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I enjoyed it. We should talk
same.
again after the draft.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'll get your grade, your draft grade.
Oh yeah, I'll have to put out a video about that.
Right.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right, take it easy. Don't work too hard.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
All right, later.
All right. Bye.
Marie!
What?
Babe, can you go get me some more Cubanisto? I don't have any more Cubanisto, please.
Pardon? Mais ça va pas ou quoi? Mais va le chercher ton cubanisto! Et lui, non? Il est fou, mais je crois pas. Mieux.